And I like Florida for Jackson. The Gators could be big movers here this weekend. We talked about all of that on Tuesday's show. If you didn't catch that, go watch that one right now, then come back and watch this one. But I want to circle back to Aidan Mizell, who's committing on Friday on the 24/7 Sports YouTube page. So make sure it's in the same area. You'll find it tomorrow. Mizell, he turned 47 receptions into 1,003 yards, 18 touchdowns as a junior. It was a breakout year for the speedster, 10.6 speed in the 100-meter dash. Florida's at number 23 in the recruiting rankings. I think they could be in the top 15 at the end of the weekend, and Mizell would be a big part of that. He would become the jewel of the class, or one of the jewels of the class for Florida if he jumps in the boat, which my crystal ball says that he will. And when Billy Napier and this new staff arrived in Gainesville, Chris and Jason, one of the biggest priorities for them was getting more playmakers at wide receiver, and they tried to do it in the portal. They tried to do it at the end of the 2022 cycle. And look, we know Coach Napier, he's a receivers coach at heart, and we know he's going to be very hands-on with that unit in Gainesville. And I think that's part of the attraction. But they also see it as a big area of need, and they're really addressing it this cycle. If they can add Mizell to what's already in the fold, Eugene Wilson, the third, 62 receptions, 925 yards, 7 touchdowns as a junior. He's one of the best two-way players in the state. Also picked off 4 passes and broke up 5 more. But he's a dynamic, shifty, elusive slot guy that I think that they envision getting real creative with on the next level. And then they have Creed Whitmore committed. He's a 10.8 guy in the 100-meter dash. He's a local kid that comes from great pedigree. Dad played football at UCF. Mom played volleyball for the Gators. He had an outstanding junior year. He plays quarterback, over 2,000 yards passing, almost 1,000 yards rushing, accounted for 33 touchdowns. He is an exciting player with the ball in his hands. Like I said, he can really run. Mizell can run. Eugene Wilson is that silky smooth, elusive, can't stick to him guy. That's a hell of a run there at receiver. That would be one of the best receiving corps coming into any SEC program if they're able to get that. And they're not going to be done. They're going to be all in on guys like Andy Jean after that. As again, receiver is a major position of need as they try and kind of change the body type that they recruited. Dan Mullen was into those more ferocious 6'2", 210-pound guys, which is cool. But I think under this new Florida staff, they're looking for guys that look more like Devontae Smith or Amari Cooper that are in that mold. But that might not be the only fireworks for Florida. You're going to want to stay tuned to our Florida site all weekend because they may get more commits than that. I think there's some other guys that are potentially close. Big recruiting weekend too. Friday Night Lights. My colleague Andrew Ivins is going to be there, national recruiting analyst. He's going to be hanging out there with our Florida staff. But they got guys coming in this weekend like 5-star defensive lineman James Smith, Quay Rusaw, 5-star cornerback Cormani McClain is expected. Top 247 defensive lineman Kelby Collins from Alabama will be there. They're all in on a guy like Cameron James, a priority defensive line recruit from in-state. Tyree Adams is an offensive lineman that's highly coveted in SEC country. So Florida, one of the most exciting teams to follow on the recruiting trail this weekend from a commitment standpoint. From a visitor standpoint, I left out 5-star edge rusher Samuel Mpemba is going to be there also. And perhaps there'll be more fireworks than the 3 guys that are being forecasted to the Gators right now.